Welcome to Rice TVX and the latest episode of the Rice Crypto Show. You've just tuned in for the latest Crypto Rewind. Today is January the 7th of the year 2022. As usual, it is myself and Satoshi Sean, and today's guest just recently appeared on Fox News. She's famous. We got Miss Teen Crypto in the house, and we're going to get things started for you in just moments. Oh, and before we begin, a few quick messages from the sponsors of Rice TVX. And you can find information, as always, in the video description for BitSwap DEX for pre-search and Monarch.
BitSwap is the hottest new way to trade tokens. Crawling all the top decentralized exchanges, BitSwap will get you the very best price and value for your trades. BitSwap is changing the game. Try it now at bitswapdex.com.
And we are currently live streaming on both Rice TVX and Rice TVX2. Make sure you are subscribed to both channels. Make sure you're also subscribed to Satoshi Sean and Miss Teen Crypto's channels, and links are in the video description as well. And before we get started, make sure you tune in tomorrow. I want to make sure I got the right time on this. I'm actually blanking on the time, but I am going to be premiering my interview with Miss Maren Altman. That is going to be at 12 o'clock p.m. Eastern time, which would be 9 o'clock a.m. Pacific time. So tune in for the premiere of my interview with Maren Altman tomorrow, Saturday the 8th at 12 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. Now, before we begin today's stream, just one quick message from Money Metals Exchange. You can get a free half ounce of silver. I always encourage, especially crypto enthusiasts, to take advantage of precious metals. You can get a free half ounce of silver. All you got to do is use the promo code RICE, and it all gets explained right here. If you are looking to purchase and invest in precious metals, gold and silver are both good safe haven assets to hedge against the financial collapse we are experiencing. Check out Money Metals Exchange. I partnered up with them, and you can get a free half ounce of silver. Visit moneymetals.com, be a first-time buyer, purchase a minimum of $100, and use the promo code RICE. You get a free half ounce of silver, and it's another way to support the channel. And I got to look out for my boy Satoshi Sean, because he's also partnered up with Money Metals Exchange as well. And if you would like to support the Satoshi Sean YouTube channel, you can take advantage of that same deal. Just use the promo code Satoshi Sean. Speaking of Satoshi Sean, what's going on, homie?
Hey, man.
How's everything?
Pretty good. Hang on one sec.
Oh, you're good. Going to go ahead and bring in our guest this week. We are joined by the infamous Miss Famous. She is up and coming. She is representing Generation Z for cryptocurrency. We have the honor and privilege of being joined by Miss Teen Crypto. What's going on, Fran?
I'm chilling, enjoying the vibes. How about you guys?
Well, I'm just glad to have you in the house. I'm looking forward to it.
Same.
Glad to have you here.
Thank you, Sir Sean.
I like that.
Sir Sean.
She was calling you that in our Twitter chat earlier.
Yes,
Yeah.
Sir Satoshi.
She's being respectful to her old ass elders.
Yeah, I'm not a knight though. I'm a lord, but not a knight.
Did you buy that
Lord
land
Sean,
in Scotland?
I got you.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, you got the Scottish land.
Scottish
Way to
land,
do it.
and I got a title. So
So this is Satoshi Sean's channel. If you guys aren't subscribed, make sure you're subscribed and go watch his redo video on Black Lemon. Maybe if you check out his channel, he'll talk to you about that story. And also got links down below for Miss Teen Crypto's YouTube channel. She appeared yesterday on Fox Business, not Fox News. So I correct myself with that. But how did you get hooked up with Fox? Because this is like your second, third appearance.
It's my second appearance. My first appearance was on December 2nd. I was very fortunate. I've just became kind of Twitter friends with Charles Payne and got invited on the show gratefully, and I got on there and it was really fun. I had like a great time. It's always a blast, doing interviews and whatnot, no matter who it's with. But Charles, he did say zesty on TV yesterday, so that was like kind of like a big highlight for me.
That's cool. I haven't had a chance to watch it. I was meaning to watch it before, and I ended up getting a phone call, and I wasn't able to check it out yet. But I plan on watching it.
I didn't know you were on a second time. That's awesome. That is so awesome.
That's what I'm saying. She's famous. We're being graced by the presence of Miss Teen Crypto.
She is. She works her butt off, man.
I try, but we're all grinding. We all are.
Yeah, but
I'm not. I'm lazy. I'll admit it.
I appreciate what you've been doing, and I appreciate the attention that you've been getting and what it's doing for cryptocurrency. So, and then also want to let people know that I was on your show a couple weeks ago. So make sure you're checking that out over on Miss Teen Crypto's channel. Then you can also get more information on her NFTs and also all of her social media links on missteencrypto.com.
I have not been on her show. She doesn't like me. When we're not on camera, she's mean to me.
What?
I think,
Sir Sean,
I think we can resolve.
You are one of the sweetest people that I know.
We can resolve that. I'm sure. Yeah. 100% sure we can resolve that.
You guys are awesome.
Again, thanks for coming on. And again, everything that we talk about on today's show is going to be linked down below in the video description. So I encourage people to make sure that they're checking out those links. So we usually keep this tight to an hour. I have plans tonight. So we're going to end right about.
He always does. He like to, flaunt the fact that.
Well, it is Friday night.
Look at me.
I've had a long week, and Fridays for me, man. Usually, and I've told you this before many times, Sean. This is like my busiest day because I run the pre-search live stream. I've got to get news articles and other stuff done during the mid part of the day. Then I'm doing BitBoy Crypto usually on Fridays at 5, and then our 7 p.m. live stream. So I'm all over the place.
And Bryce does do like all the news, all the news stories. He gathers them. Ever since I quit doing news for the Cryptopolitan, I am not that into scouring for stories. So he does all the hard stuff, man.
We've talked about this. We don't try to be like a typical news show and bring on like everything that you're going to hear from all the different crypto channels. I mean, there are going to be some of those things, but it's mainly stuff that really interests us.
Yeah, and it's more opinions about the news than the news. And
I picked a lot more NFT news, considering that's one of Miss Teen Crypto's things. And there's not a lot of like great news. So the NFT news is a lot more positive as far as I'm concerned. So the non-NFT stories we don't have to spend a lot of length on. I just want to
I think the non-NFT stories is a big thing. And I'm going to put my tinfoil hat on and I'm going to throw something out there that I'd like to think about. I'd like people to think about it because I've been thinking about it today. Are we jumping into it?
Yeah, the first story is the Turkish inflation. Turkey has been experiencing inflation over the past year. It's gotten a lot worse. Now the citizens are utilizing stable coins and looking into things like Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. But I understand with all the volatility why they would go into a stable coin versus Bitcoin at this moment. It makes sense. And the sad thing is they're just going into basically a digital US dollar and getting away from their own country money. And that's one thing that I do not want to see nations collapsing their currencies and everybody utilizing the dollar. That's just going to be too much power for the Federal Reserve. So where's your tinfoil hat going, Sean?
Well, it's not on this. I got to move a gun. Hold on. Okay.
You got to move a gun.
Yeah, I was just like, wait, did I hear that correctly?
Yeah, you see the guns on the back of his wall, right?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, you got to really look. He's got the arcade. He's got like assault rifles. He lives in Texas, so it's
a whole mix of things.
I got this one for Christmas. I got my little nephew one too, so we could go shoot together.
That's not a real gun.
Oh,
they're all real guns.
Let me see it. Pull back
I'm
up.
standing on two guns.
Real?
Yeah, yes. Why do people ask that? I always be like, no, I'm 3. They're fake. Yo, they're real. I got this yesterday. It's really cool.
He goes to like gun shows just to buy a bunch of guns.
Oh
He's
my
probably got an
gosh.
armory going on in his house. I have no clue.
He goes to the grocery store just to get groceries. What? But this is really cool. I've been trying to get this for a long time.
He carries around 2 shotguns on his back when he goes grocery shopping.
Oh my gosh, man.
No, I did. I've been waiting.
I've never even held one.
I bought a bunch of guns online. Like, I don't know, probably 8. Something like that. I don't know. For just, like this last month. But the gun store where I go pick them up at, they closed on Christmas Eve at 2. And the last gun was no, not the last gun. This little one was the last gun. But this other one I was waiting for, KSG, it was delivered at 3 o'clock, so they were closed. But they closed from Christmas Eve until after the New Year. So I couldn't go. UPS kept trying to deliver that. So I was just able to go yesterday to get all the guns, and there was 4 that I picked up. But they charge a $25 fee. But I've always, went as soon as one comes in, I go pick it up. But they only charge me $25 for all 4, so it's just a transfer fee. So from now on, if I buy multiple guns, I'm just going to wait till they all come in and go pick them up all at once.
Yeah, MTC, if you were born in Texas, you would have been born with a gun. It would have come out.
Well, you get one at the hospital.
And then hospital issues you one.
You get a car seat and a gun.
Yeah, I get the do you even go permit like to get one, or like you just go buy it in Walmart?
Texas is getting a little cray as far as like
you don't need a permit to have a gun anywhere. Do you have it? Well, I do, but it's called the Second Amendment. It's
they don't teach about that kind of stuff in school no more, Sean.
No,
yeah,
they do not.
They stopped teaching civics a long time ago. They don't want people to know about that stuff.
They don't want people knowing about the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, and all those good things.
Well, an interesting point. I want to hit this. Is that there's this one guy called the Armed Fisherman. You can check his channel out. But he's in Florida, and he has an AR-15 pistol that he carries, and he just goes fishing. So Florida has a law. Most states have a law for hunting, fishing, or camping. You're allowed to open carry, whether that state requires you to have permits or licenses or whatever. It's a law that says you can go to and from hunting, fishing, or camping, and while you're doing it, and you can open carry. It's outside? Okay, cool. So he does that all over Florida, and immediately, the police come out there, and then they're like, "Hey, man, these people are calling us. They're freaking out," and he's always like, "Hey, man, those people's feelings don't trump my rights. It don't trump the Constitution." And I understand the point of the police that, hey, people are weirded out or freaked out. But if you're not doing something illegal, then it's not really, they need to not care about what people's feelings are. It is that. And in the time we live in, with cancel culture and people being offended and all, it's a mentality that they're like, hey, man, you're offending people by what you're doing. But that's why we started the country. That's why people came over here and made the journey, because the way that they worshiped their religion or whatever they did offended someone or some entity in a different country. So they came here to have the freedom to offend people, but not to infringe on other people's rights or push stuff on people. But you can be offensive, and that's what the U.S. is about, man. Having the freedom to be offensive but not hurt anybody. And
so, I appreciate the Constitution talk, but is this correlating to one of the stories, like with your tinfoil hat? Are you going to connect this up?
No, I haven't. That's not this story. It's the other one. But I got your point about people who are worried about the dollar, and they're moving into basically a digital dollar. But it's everything with Tether. You have the negative stuff that nobody likes to talk about, and this story is on Bitcoin.com. So it's going to be, slanted in that direction. It's not as well. If this story was written the way that it is in a mainstream media news outlet, I would have a lot more to say about it, and it would have a lot more impact. But
it
I
was
think
also
that
BUSD, the Binance stablecoin, was being utilized as well. They were just talking about the different stablecoins that had the larger percentage. Like the least used stablecoin is probably the most regulated and dollar-backed one-to-one, which is the USDC.
You know, you play that Hillary Clinton clip, which you can hear the anger and the fear in her voice when she does that, when she talks about crypto.
Have you heard this, Miss Teen Crypto? Have you heard Hillary Clinton recently at an IMF meeting talking about crypto?
I heard about it, did not hear the actual clip though.
It's super short. I'm going to play it real quick so everybody can listen to it and you can check it out.
All right, listen.
And then one more area that I hope nation states start paying greater attention to is the rise of cryptocurrency, because what looks like a very interesting and
Did that stop for you guys too?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why it stopped. Hold on.
And then one more area that I hope nation states start paying greater attention to is the rise of cryptocurrency, because what looks like
it doesn't appear that YouTube wants me to play this clip. I wonder if they care. I wonder if they care about.
Let's go, Brandon.
Let's go, Brandon. I agree.
I guess they're good with that.
Dude, you gotta see his wife's face when he says that, man.
Let's go, Brandon. I agree. Let's go, Brandon. I agree. Let's go, Brandon. I agree. Let's go, Brandon. I agree.
Sorry, man. I can't get enough of my clips sometimes.
That's funny.
But yeah, the powers that be don't want Hillary Clinton to say this.
Right. Well, see, what Hillary Clinton was talking about, cryptocurrency, and everyone talks about.
And then one more area that I hope nation states start paying greater attention to is the rise of cryptocurrency, because what looks like a very interesting and somewhat exotic effort to literally mine new coins in order to trade with them has the potential for undermining currencies, for undermining the role of the dollar as the reserve currency, for destabilizing nations, perhaps starting with small ones, but going much larger. So when we think about this new environment in which we find ourselves that we've been discussing for the last some minutes, we can't just think about nation states.
Pretty powerful.
Yeah. And when she talks about like small countries, when you look at what El Salvador's done and is doing, that's scary to them. And that's cryptocurrency. That's Bitcoin. This on the other side, this is like a coming around from the rear and attacking. When you're talking about stable coins and how Turkey is by no means a small country. I mean, it's a world leader.
Right. That's why they're mentioning the fact. I mean, I think we're going to see more countries hitting all-time highs in inflation, because even here in the United States, we're hitting all-time highs in inflation, and the rest of the world is the world reserve currency is the dollar, and they're pegged to the dollar. So inflation is going to trickle down around every currency, and it'll be higher rates.
China's CBDCs. This is there's a rush now to fight China on this. So we're going to see some kind of stable coin, and if it's not quick, Turkey's not going to move to anything that's connected to Russia or China. So I think the United States is going to come out with something, and if they don't, there's not really many other options for countries to combat their inflation with their shit currency, right, rather than to move into some kind of stable coin.
Something really cool though, having Miss Teen Crypto on here. Like when I talked with her on her channel a couple weeks ago, we were talking about inflation, and like her being younger, she's got to see a different version of inflation that we've seen, because we're older. We've seen things from a longer standpoint of prices going down, where it's been declining over years. But there's been such an increase just recently that younger people are starting to notice it a great deal.
100%.
Which is good that people are being educated so that they can understand. Because again, this stuff is not really taught properly in schools.
No.
I remember when everything happened, the crazy inflation in the U.S., like the worst, and the gas shortages and all that. I was like a was a baby. I was like 4 or 5. So I knew something was happening, but I didn't understand the politics of it. I didn't know about, the gold standard being taken off that. And I just knew that like there was a line of like 25 cars for us to get gas, and that people were just buying gas to waste it because it was going to be gone. We're not going to have gas anymore. So people drive around burning up gas because it's all going to hell. It's going to be gone. Like I knew that like I could buy 4 candy bars for $1, and then I couldn't. There was like little things. I knew something crazy was going on, but I had no idea why. And
when I told Miss Teen Crypto some of the prices like we used to pay when we were kids for candy and comic books and things like that, compared to what it is now, it's insane. Because I was telling her, like a typical candy bar used to be under 50 cents or around
ridiculous.
50 cents.
Ridiculous.
I mean, do you remember 99-cent Big Macs, 99-cent Whoppers? That was like regular. That was how much they cost. And then like and now like that's a whole meal it's like $6 for just a burger. And I remember they had the Burger Wars, and I was up north. I was with my grandfather.
Were you in the midst of? Were you right in the battle? Like,
it was fun, man, because they had regular burgers. I remember, like McDonald's put them out for it was like a quarter or something like that, and then Burger King went 24 cents, and then it was a joke. But it got down to where it was like 9 cents or 12 cents for a cheeseburger.
Well, like maybe 5-6 years ago, they used to do like, at least around where I lived in North Carolina, like Tuesday, like 29-cent hamburger.
What?
Wednesday, 39-cent hamburger.
Yeah, this was crazy for now.
Within the past 10 years.
That is insane.
But that was like a full-size burger, and it was like 9 cents or 12 cents. And that was a weird thing. They were having like a fight going on between the two burger giants. But yeah, when I was a kid, we had Choo Choo burgers. That was 97 cents. Jack in the Box, you get 99 cent. Jack in the Box was crazy. But food in general, now, I bought a goose for Christmas. It was $80.
Yeah, you're telling me about that.
For a bird.
What do you think about everything that we're talking about, Ms. Teen Crypto?
Honestly, it's all very shocking. And even my dad, when I talk to him, we talk about the deals he had when he was younger. It's like not even deals. It was just like the way life was. Like he got 2 slices and a drink for like 50 cents. And like, now that's just not possible. Now a literal slice of pizza in my neighborhood is $3 for a plain one. If you want to get zesty, get a buffalo slice or whatever, that's like $4. And, I've been seeing the numbers just go up, go up, go up. And I've also been seeing something that we talked about right on my show, shrinkflation. Like those $2 bags of chips pre-pandemic even were bigger than my head. And now these $2 bags of chips are like this big and half air.
So it's air. Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of it's air.
Like before it was half air anyway, but now it's even smaller and half air. Like it's hitting. So
the corporations are always going to make their profit no matter what. So if they're going to have to keep up with the same price, then in order for them to profit, they'll have to reduce the amount that you get for buying. So
I think there's like these happenings where it hits the common man. Like I remember, you're in New York, right?
Yeah.
So I remember when it's like, hey, there's not going to ever be a dollar slice anymore. We've gone beyond where there's no more dollar slices, and now like Dollar Tree, all these dollar stores, they're raising the price to $1.50.
They got another dollar. Like where I'm at, we have Dollar Tree Pluses, where they have an aisle or two that's like $3 and $5.
Well, no, Dollar Tree in general, they're raising their price now to like $1.29, and then other dollar stores are going to like $1.50.
Then it can't be the dollar store. It can't be a Dollar Tree.
Well, but that's the thing, man. There's something's going to happen. They're going to turn into Dollar Plus or Dollar something like you said. But that era of price is done.
Yeah.
We've gone beyond that.
There's no dollar store. It's gonna be double dollar store. It'll be $2 store.
Yeah, double. Maybe they'll bring the $2 bill back or something.
Oh my gosh, the $2 bill, man. That's another thing. Like, there's like none of those out there. Oh my gosh,
No.
like to see a $2 bill, it's got to be zesty. Like, you look at a $2 bill and it just like doesn't look right. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it looks weird.
Yeah, you're just like, why does it have 2 on it? Like, it just doesn't look right. And imagine just going up to someone and paying with a $2 bill. Would they even take it?
Yeah, it's legal tender. I mean, people
can't.
Everybody
really take it. They want to keep it.
People would take it. Yeah, because
they would have to take pennies, but you just look like the jackass making somebody count out all your pennies.
There's a law against that here in Texas because where we used to go pay my electric bill, this woman was a total bitch. I mean, just the worst. And like my electric would get turned off for hours, like every other month, because she would just want to, she would always give me a hard time. Like my wife went in there one time, and I mean, I was kind of a bitch, but she, my ex-wife. So, but I went in there and I was going to go and pay my electric bill with pennies, so she would have to count all of it out because I gave her change, and she had to count it out. I was like, it's obvious. She goes, we have to count it out. We have to. It's like, it's our job. We have to. I was like, oh, really? I was like, okay, well, next month I'm going to pay you all in change. And she said, I'll call the police. And I was like, yeah, that's stupid. And she said, no, look it up. It's against the law. You're impeding. If you do it on purpose, you're impeding a business. So it's like a misdemeanor to pay with pennies, which I didn't understand.
That's
so
crazy.
That seems to be like one of those laws you'd have to fight because it's legal tender and blah, blah, blah.
It's that weird ass called the cops on me, man.
That is so odd. I mean, I know kids that throw their pennies in the garbage because they just can't do anything with it. They're like, oh, Kobe it, and they throw it and it's done. Like I was talking to a friend not too long ago. She was like, yeah, like I just throw them in the garbage. I'm like, what are you?
Well, they cost more than they're worth. Actually,
it costs more to make.
Yeah, isn't it 7 cents to make a nickel now?
That might be. I know it's like almost 3 to make a penny.
Isn't that crazy? Oh my gosh.
And then if you make them out of copper anymore. If they were made out of copper, then it would be, even worse.
You know what's crazy? Oh my God, I just blanked on what I was going to say because it was going to be so zesty. Oh, the zest that left my mind.
The zest just went away.
The zest came and it disappeared. I was like, oh, wait.
The zest comes and the zest goes.
It really does sometimes. Oh my gosh. But yeah, like you can't pay with anything with a penny, a nickel, a dime anymore. Like that's why I loved Bitcoin when I first heard about it too, because you could literally go into a store, scan your phone, and dip out of there. Like you don't gotta worry about this whole cash exchange because honestly, like I don't want those pennies. Like I can't do anything with them. Like, and when I go to the store, I'm just going to give them my bills anyway. Like that $1 bill, like even if it's 57 cents, like, do I have the 57 cents on me? No way. Like it's craziness.
It used to be a big deal though. Like I remember, when we were younger, kids would want, like my sister was really big on this, trying to get my dad's pocket change every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And putting it in a piggy bank. You just don't hear about piggy banks and kids collecting coinage.
Well, do y'all have those coin stars there where you at?
Yeah, like Coinstar, I'm not too sure, but there are like a few banks that have like those type of machines in there, but they take a lot of your percentage. Like you put, like I used to get change a lot and just like throw it in a change jar, and then the fam and I would just go dump it in there, but it would take like a ridiculous amount, like 5%. And if you have like $100 worth of change, like that's like a lot of money to take.
Yeah, I think ours, the Coinstars take like it's like 10 or something. It's a lot. But
they also they're offering the Bitcoin too, and some of those.
You remember penny candy? Like you go to the convenience stores, like the bottom level was like like a piece of
there used to be
little candy with
like a nickel, penny,
and then they went to a nickel. Our 7-Eleven had them until probably like 8-9 years ago. They still had those. They were like nickel candy then, but
it'd be like your Mary Janes, your Jawbreakers, small versions.
No way.
Bazooka Joe bubble gum.
Yeah, like a piece of bazooka
you get
gum.
One piece of Bazooka Joe bubble gum, had a little comic with it.
Dang.
Or like a little thing of like those fake M&Ms.
We grew up in such an awesome time period, but it really, if you go back further and further and further, you could see the difference, because I mean that's when like people would go and buy a soda for a nickel.
That's insane. Like insanity.
Or Swedish fish. They had those Swedish fish that were a penny. That was the last thing I remember buying for a penny. Those gummy Swedish fish were a penny. That was
Get out of here. I've never paid for anything with change. Never.
Invent time travel just so you can go and buy something with change.
Like I've never like had these like the coins in my hand and be like, okay, quarter, okay, like here you go. None of that, man. None of that.
We're bringing back memories. We got fake cigarettes. We got mint jewels.
Fake cigarettes.
Fireballs. I remember the fake cigarettes.
Do you remember real cigarettes in a like a vending machine?
Wait, what?
Yeah.
That was a thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, you could buy cigarettes and you put in your, $1.25 or whatever, your quarters, and you just pull the thing. You could buy cigarettes, but kids could buy cigarettes. So then they were only like in bars for a while because you had to be an adult to go in the bar, so they were there. But now I don't even see them anywhere.
I've never.
No, because
I
think it's the cost factor, and people aren't using coins, and you got to have the dollar bill accepting.
Well, I think you have to show your ID to buy cigarettes now. So
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Otherwise, you got like MTC going and buying a bunch of packs of Cadillac Newports. It's like, you sell singles out there?
We had a smoking area in my high school.
Oh,
which people don't believe me. Yeah. We had
like
all the stoners and everything hung outside. And we had a smoking area.
60, so that was a long time ago. And they had
it was the 60s. Shut up, man. It was like late 80s. It was a 90.
Sean's 86 years old. I don't know why he wants to act like he's younger than he is.
I'm 86.
Oh my gosh, stop it. Don't bully Sean.
No, till I think my senior year they got rid of the smoking area. But I used to get in so much trouble, man, for hanging out with the lowlifes in the smoking area. You just have to run extra laps in football every damn day. I'll show you there with the lowlifes.
Today's show is now crypto banter versus crypto rewind. You want to get to some of these news articles?
Yeah,
let's rewind.
Kazakhstan. This is important.
What's interesting about this? Before I saw this article, I was reading something on the internet about the government basically stepping away, which I found interesting because I was talking with somebody about this. We hear about people stepping away from jobs and careers, but you generally don't hear about an entire government just saying, well, we're out of here later. And the government just stepped away. And then amidst all that, everything going on in the country with all the chaos, they turned the internet off. So there's no internet access.
Which is the first scary thing. That's the first big deal.
When a lot of the Chinese miners went to Kazakhstan, and they were having about 12%.
Where did they go? Where did they go?
Kazakhstan.
No, let him keep going. What?
Kazakhstan. Were you correct my pronunciation, Lord Satoshi Sean?
It's where Borat's from. Kazakhstan.
Kazakhstan.
That's where Borat's from, dude.
That's where he's fictitiously from. I mean, he's actually born in the UK.
Borat is from there.
The made up character, yes.
Yeah,
the Lorax.
The Lorax. I don't even think No, Borat.
Borat?
Yeah, it's probably
number 2 journalism in all of Kazakhstan.
In Borat, the movie. Borat. You shouldn't watch it.
Let me Google this.
Dude, this is hurting my feelings that she doesn't know who Borat is.
Yeah, but you're turning her on to something that's probably detrimental to her mental sanity, man.
You haven't seen Borat?
Is this a bad thing? Am I supposed to not Google this right now?
Ask your dad if it's cool to watch it before. I don't want him getting mad at us for promoting this degen.
Okay.
Some of what he does is what a lot of people would call crass.
Okay.
It's
not a lot of people. No, like 7 people would use the word crass.
But that's what everybody means. Use the word crass. A lot of it is distasteful. And Gulag G says it very well. That Sacha Baron is a scumbag. It's just a character that this guy plays. It's some British dude who's of Middle Eastern descent. and he plays a lot of different characters.
He's Jewish. He's super Jewish.
A lot of Middle Eastern people are.
Well, I mean, Middle Eastern, he's super Jewish. Anyway, he did a serious show on Netflix about it's insane, about a Jewish spy.
How do we keep getting on
topic? Yeah, man, I know.
Let's
you want to watch Borat?
Because you and your Kazakhstan. So listen, the fact that they had 15% of the Bitcoin mining network is insane.
Yeah,
we could do the usual thing, talk about centralization and blah blah. But here's the scariest thing: the fact that they turn off the internet. And here's the tinfoil hat thing. Everyone talks about how Bitcoin is bad, and how all of how if the internet goes down, it's worthless. No one can transact. Blah blah blah. And everyone does the same cop-out thing. It's this weird thing with well, if the internet's gone, everything, we got bigger things to worry about. And then that just dismisses everything. And no, it's a real thing. It's something that needs to be talked about. Mm-hmm. Now, there are ways to maintain the Bitcoin network through radio waves. You can, like, and it's not that. Yeah, there's through an analog way to maintain the decentralization, to keep the network up, and to send and receive Bitcoin. Also through satellites and other stuff. But if no one's looking into that, then that would be so easy for any government or central bond villain to take over that. And if the internet was switched off, they would then own the Bitcoin network and could do as they will.
That's insane.
Are you familiar with GoTenna?
Am I?
Yeah. Are you familiar with this that I'm sharing?
Yeah.
Because this is something that people use in at like Burning Man to have internet connection.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
It's like it connects to the closest person.
Off-grid communications, intelligent mesh networking, lightweight, minimalist.
That's the word. Mesh network. Yeah.
So it creates like what you would consider to be like an intranet, not an internet. Let's say, like, if you work for a company, some companies have their own internet. That's not like the normal internet that you would access. Access. So it's like an internal internet. So you're kind of creating your own network by pairing these different devices together. And
also you're using the different devices and the intranet to be able to connect. Like if I'm 1,000 miles away from the closest internet connection, but I'm 50 miles away from the closest person in the intranet, I connect to them, they connect to this person, do all the way to 1,000 miles, when I'm technically now connected to the internet through all these other people.
GoTenna and Samurai Wallet are doing something together. Now, I'm not a huge Blockstream fan, and you know this, but they have the same satellite capability. I do like the Samurai Wallet, but through the Samurai Wallet and GoTenna, they've worked out a way to create an easy mesh network.
Well, with the GoTenna, it was about 2 years ago. Brecky and Crypto Stash, they sent Bitcoin back and forth to each other. They were like 15, 20 miles apart, no internet, and they showed how it was working way back then.
So you could do transact. You could transact offline, basically.
That's actually so cool. I think everybody needs to have this. I feel like
that's my point. If we don't start focusing on this area of keeping networks up and running, it would be easy for some nefarious person or group to be able to basically take the Bitcoin network over that way. And then if they flip the switch, not only would it screw the network up, but it could destroy the network because they could do whatever they want.
Yeah.
And that's one of the only ways that people could do it. And everyone dismisses it. Like, oh, well, there's no internet. We got other things to worry about. But it's not that hard for governments and like maybe even corporations to do. And if someone is just ready for that, they have a plan in motion. There's some other thing. It's like a GoTenna, but you can set it up on your house. And if you set a few of those up, all around the world, if you have money, because these aren't expensive. This is analog technology. It's through radio waves.
What were you saying, MTC?
Like, so this whole country, their internet is out. So even if like there's no internet connection for thousands of miles in every which direction because the whole country's dead, so this can help? This can like save them?
If people were utilizing these type of like networks, these mesh networks, they would be able to send cryptocurrency. So if there's a situation where someone doesn't have cash and they need to buy something, they could essentially use these mesh networks to use cryptocurrencies to pay for SID food or whatever supplies they may need, because they don't have access to utilizing their banks, their debit cards, because of the internet being down, because all that stuff's going to be reliant upon each other. So it wouldn't be an absolute 100% answer, but it keeps a network running.
Yeah.
It keeps connection and communication between people. So definitely, I'll send you some information on it, but it's called GoTenna, really cool, if you want to check it out. And I'm actually, now that you mentioned it, Sean, I definitely probably should do videos talking about.
Yeah, I think this kind of woke me up to that when Kazakhstan's not like the most technologically advanced country that you would think of. And if they have the ability to shut down the
technologically advanced, camels in sand are not technologically advanced. Like,
dude, if they have the ability to do this, to shut down the internet and control things on that level, that scares me to think what like.
Yeah, but we should think about China though. How China can control what people see, and be able to censor certain websites or movies or platforms or whatever the situation might be. That's why I try to mention when people talk about Web3 and all these other different alternatives to the web that we're used to. If we don't get away from the ISP point of failure, then there's nothing really that it's going to matter. We need to get away from planetary internet and internet that can be cut off by your internet service provider, because
that's what
your provider can be just like China. Do what?
There's some of the next and the other stories that I wanted to hit on that.
Solana,
I think we're moving towards that.
Yeah, the Spain thing I want to skip over because it's really just kind of capitalizing off the Kazakhstan stuff, which isn't really much. But the Solana thing. Okay, whatever, man. But Solana, I really wanted to bring up because I don't like this project. I am a fan of decentralization. I'm not a fan of a project calling themselves decentralized.
Yeah, we're the only two people that seem to talk about this, dude.
Nobody can run. No normal person can run a node and be a validator unless you have over $10 million, which most normal people don't. So, and then the fact that that this blockchain is being able to turn itself off and have these kind of points of failure also show me that it's not decentralized, because
it's not decentralized. It's not. And we're the only people that really talk about it. And if you bring it up to someone that knows, like, well, yeah, but whatever. It's like, no, man, they can turn shit off.
Well, it's a good question. It's a good question because I wanted to ask Miss Teen Crypto this. Someone now, you've had your father who's been in crypto for a little bit and has a lot of the similar ideals to a lot of how we think. But as far as younger people, are people coming in concerned with decentralization? Do they care about what decentralization is? And do they actually care about the technologies, or is it more about profiting and making more US dollars?
So coming into crypto, I think a lot of teenagers are just looking for transacting on the internet. So, we're looking for that digital cash and the ease of use. And it's very easy to transact with Bitcoin. We all know this. But I think that a big part of it is the decentralization, that there is no third party and that this is a censorship resistant network. I think that's a very big thing. That was also something I discussed on Fox Business with Charles yesterday. Like, this is digital cash. It only makes sense for our money to go digital, and this is the way it should go digital. And it is scary to see things like this happening with things like Solana. A lot of mainstream attention is being headed towards this network, and I think this is the fourth time it's been down in the last few months. Or is it 3 or 4 in the past few months total? Fourth, yeah. Okay, yeah. So I
was trying to unmute myself. It's 4 times total, but 2 have been this past week. But yet, the article that was put out on the 5th of January, Solana shows that there have been no issues on the network. Like Solana's trying their best to deny this took place. And then it took place a second time in the same week. So yeah, it suffered a fourth network incident in the span of a few months, and 2 out of the 4 issues happened this week.
That's
Yeah.
So like, if this happens and like the Solana network goes down, does that mean like, you know, if there's a game on Solana, that's gone too, right? For the moment until it comes, like the network.
Yeah, because if there's not validator nodes working to keep the network running,
yeah,
then it's just kind of stagnant.
It also didn't say, the article didn't say how slow it got. It said it's advertised at 50,000 transactions per second, and then it was reduced to several thousand transactions per second.
Right.
50,000 is several thousand. So
the blockchain trilemma is the security, the scalability, and the decentralization. And a lot of times it's hard to get all 3. So companies will sacrifice in order to have that speed. So Binance Smart Chain is in the same situation as Solana. They're both centralized. That's the reason why they're fast and they're cheap. But it's centralized, you know, as opposed to something like Ethereum, which, you know, is definitely more decentralized.
Hey, Hankowitz, good to see you here. I think like Mr. in Crypto said, I'm one of them. I came into crypto because of the money. You know, I mean, I came into it because I thought it was cool, it was neat, you know, niche. This is a long time ago. And then I bought something with it, and I was like, oh my God, that was terrible. This is dumb. And then I was out. And then once, I don't know what, 2012, 13, I was like, oh my God, as a financial advisor, I looked at it from that standpoint. And I was like, whoa, definitely get this. This is something you can make money on. And that's what got me back into it. But once people come into it for whatever the reason is, it opens your eyes to so much, and things like you were talking about that you were never taught, you didn't even know about. There's people that think that the US dollar is backed by gold still.
Yes, yeah. I know.
I mean, a lot of people do.
I know.
And that's when someone learns that, that's like, whoa, when you realize how much you don't know, it's really shocking. And then you really look down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, because you also got to think, why was I not taught that? Why do I not know this? What were they hiding from me? What information were they trying to keep from entering
most people
into
don't get
brain?
to that until after a while. They just when they're like, hey, wait a minute. Maybe these crazy tinfoil hat people aren't so crazy.
It's kind of crazy, not learning about finance in school, because, the only offering that my high school had, at least, was an elective. So you had to pick it. It was about stocks. It was an economy type class, but all you did, there were 4 quarters in the school year, and you just watched one stock per quarter, and whoever made the most money got the best grades. And it was hypothetical money though. And I didn't think that taught us anything exactly. It doesn't teach us what is the stock market, what are the fundamentals behind that, how do you write a check, because I personally never written a check, and I know a lot of kids my age don't even know how to write an envelope. So we're not really taught a lot, and how to sign up for a bank account, what's a mortgage, how does that work compared to a rent, or things like that. I was just never taught anything personal finance wise in school, and I learned more on crypto Twitter than I did
it's sad.
Personal finance. And it sounds very silly to say, but I feel like that's the reality of the situation. And coming into Bitcoin is, it does open your eyes to a lot, whether that's store of value, whether that's the way we transact, and how, the system works.
That's what people don't understand, how the system works, how money works. When people first realize that, it's shocking.
Yeah.
It really is.
When you start getting into the nitty gritty of it, and you start seeing how fractional reserve banking is, that makes you
most people, they don't know about fractional reserve banking. They don't understand how banks work, and they think that the government prints money. They don't know about the weird, terrible relationship that how things are run. And when they realize that, they're like, whoa, this is all
the Fed's a private entity? Oh my God.
Since we're on this subject, Miss Teen Crypto, did you have a chance at all to check out any of those videos I suggested?
I peeked at them. I didn't get to watch a full episode
that's cool.
yet
That's
because
cool.
my week has been absolutely crazy. But
Sean,
I do want to look at it because I'm so interested.
I suggested that she check out Mike Maloney's Hidden Secrets of Money, so that she can get like a clear comprehension about how all this works, difference between money and currency, how money was created.
I had classes that taught like some stuff when I was in high school.
Yeah, they taught civics back in like 1800s.
Like I was, I played football, so I had to take the dumbest classes, like consumer math and stuff like that. And there was a class that it taught, about how job applications and checking accounts, how to open a checking account, write a check, that kind of stuff.
Really?
Yeah, but I'm sure that's gone now because it was
way past it, bro.
But the stuff now, you guys aren't even taught handwriting. Like how to write in cursive.
Oh, no.
It's not a thing. People know how to like sign their name. It's like the 1800s. Like I can't read, but I can make my mark. That's what kids are taught nowadays, dude.
I think I learned how to write cursive. My sister didn't. She's literally, it's a 2-year difference in school. She never learned how to write cursive. And I tried to teach her on my own. Like I got worksheets for her to trace them and everything. She just didn't care because like nobody has to use it. And now in school, a lot of schools are integrating like Google Chromebooks or like even public schools, like over the pandemic, they gave kids computers. So these kids aren't even writing with their hands anymore. So that's pretty
This is Sean's college football picture back in 1928.
Hey,
you see the different kind of helmets they use.
Graduated in the 90s, man. Give me a break.
Yeah, those helmets though.
All right, dude. Samsung has some really interesting NFT news. It was two articles that are kind of intertwined. The first being the models that are going to be coming out with are going to have the NFT trading capability and I believe like a showcase where you can showcase your collections on your smart devices. And then they are also launching the metaverse store in Decentraland, which kind of goes hand in hand with what they were doing.
Hey, Jason. Jason's here from the Public Awakening. This, I think, the bigger story with this is that they're making TVs that are Web 3.0 ready.
Yeah,
because they see where technology is going. They're forward thinking, and they're
that
smart.
I think is a huge deal.
And Samsung has been pro crypto. I mean, they added the Samsung wallet.
They did. They were one of the first phones that were talking about that back in like 2016.
Yeah.
Did they do? Did they do a crypto wallet, Samsung?
Yeah, pretty much. It comes in every phone. You'd have to go into like your Samsung store. But any Samsung phone, for the most part, now has the wallet. It's not built in as like an application that you see on your phone, like right when you open your phone up for the first time. But it's available inside of the Samsung store, not the Google Play Store or the App Store. That is
so dope.
But you wouldn't use the App Store on an Android anyway, so yeah, the Google Play Store.
Yeah, that's so freaking cool. We need more of that. Like we need I do see, Apple adding, a wallet to Apple Pay so you could just like tap.
Well, they were making, and they didn't really take off as well because I don't think the features were really there. And but they were making like crypto phones. Ken had
also the adoption wasn't there like it is now.
Yeah, if they came out with that now, it would go.
Bananas. But Ken has a phone that like literally like part of the phone flips up where it has like an exterior wallet, like external wallet that connects to the phone, and you can pull it up from the device. He probably still has it, just doesn't use it. But if you're ever around him or you get a chance, ask him about the crypto phone that he had. I can't remember the brand.
Definitely,
of what he had.
He didn't tell me about that. I wish I knew. I would have definitely said to bring that whenever I saw him.
It was years ago, so I mean, he had it around for a little bit, but like I said, it just compared to other phones, it really doesn't have like
the functionality wasn't
right.
There.
It doesn't have a really good quality camera and stuff, so it's more just like to me, it was novelty. That's why I never really got one.
Makes sense, but this is very exciting. I think I think it's very smart of Samsung to get involved in this way because gaming, gaming, movies, NFTs, it's all something so seamless. Like I could picture, how Spider-Man was exclusively in theaters, had that partnership with AMC and Wax. that was awesome. And I feel like, Samsung could also, capitalize upon all of that and partner with new and upcoming movies. And if you have a Samsung device with these capabilities, then you could purchase an NFT that gives you early access to the movie or some extra perks, deleted scenes.
Anthony Hopkins premiered a movie on NFT platforms, Zero Contact. They're talking about first ever full-length concerts on NFTs. So, I mean, there's a lot of really cool possibilities when it comes with that. And when you think about Samsung adding this functionality to like a smart TV, then at home, when you're not watching,
I think that's really telling about where technology is going, because they're at the forefront. Samsung, and Samsung has always been, at the Samsung. Yeah, they're built in Kazakhstan. Like,
what do you like the pronunciation aficionado?
I'm still making fun of you for how you said Kazakhstan.
Yeah,
stop it right now.
But they've always been really kind of ahead as far as their adoption of technology that's coming. So I think that, like, you're hitting the nail on the head with what NFTs are going to be as far as utility. It's cool that you can see your collections and all that, but I think the utility stuff is what they're putting it in for. Watching concerts, and special releases. When you buy even if you buy like a pre-order, a Blu-ray, that if you have an NFT, it's going to unlock stuff that you can get that no one else is going to have. It's going to be a vital piece of entertainment. I think a lot of that, the utility is coming, which is going to make things blow up even more.
I agree.
And just the fact that they're doing that Miss Teen Crypto has been on, mainstream, news. It really shows like things that we dreamed about back in 18, 17, 16, 18. We're here. We've achieved it.
She was really smart. The timing was good. And then being like in New York City and being in that area, being able to do what she's doing, going out on the streets, just kind of asking people about what Bitcoin is. Do you know about Bitcoin? Do you know about cryptocurrency? And at her age, it caught the right people's attention. And I think it was a smart move. It was incredibly genius, which I'm sure you weren't necessarily forward thinking like, hey, if I go out here in New York City and ask a bunch of people questions, eventually Fox is going to hit me up. And I'll
it's back to her parents. I wouldn't never. Let's hold on. Let's have a kid this time, because then, like a couple decades later, she's going to be at the right place in the right time for crypto, which hasn't been invented yet. But yeah,
that's hilarious. Crypto. Well, I was born 2003, 2009. Was Bitcoin, so I was 6, so I wasn't too far off. But it's very interesting how everything has played out so far with Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. It's just so shocking. Like, it's not shocking; it's just inevitable at this point. But it's just good to see where all of this is going, and then it's such like a good amount of time. But hitting the streets in New York, it was something spontaneous that I just kind of came up with. And I remember like the first time I did it, and I was like walking around Hudson Yards in Manhattan, and nobody knew what Bitcoin was, like not one person. And I was just in complete shock. And I was just like, wow, like people don't know about Bitcoin yet, like at all. I was like, okay, like I want to do this more often. Next time I'll go to Times Square, or I'll go to the new like floating island in Manhattan.
You're dropping off seed cards at like all these crazy
stores.
Locations. Yeah.
In Hudson. So in Herald Square, that's if you're taking the local trains in New York, that's the stop right before Times Square, and that's where like the oldest Macy's is, and like the one with the wooden elevator still, if you guys are familiar with that aesthetic from the movies. But yeah, so I was going around there. I was going around Macy's. I was going around all the stores up and on that block, and also there was like across the street there was a in New York you always see like these tourist stands that just have like cards in it for like different tourist vans and all the buses and everything around the city. So I was putting my cards in there too. Like I was just going off, and I was just posting all the different locations, and I had my friends dropping seeds everywhere. And I always give my cards out. Like my sister's friends have a few each, my friends have a few each, and whenever they feel like the zest is right, the time is right, they drop a seed, they drop some knowledge. And there's a lot of people that do that as well, like Kat. If you guys know Red Cat Life on Twitter, she's always dropping them seeds, and it's just amazing to see. Like I love her posts.
It would surprise me. It would shock me when people didn't know about Bitcoin. Like I would talk to someone and they wouldn't know about cryptocurrency. I'd be like Bitcoin. Well, I know what Bitcoin is, but when I'd be like Bitcoin, they'd be like, oh, I don't know what that is. I've never heard of that. You've never heard of Bitcoin? Insane? Okay, well that would freak me out.
So, Sean, a few weeks ago, I went to go see Spider-Man, and after the movie, I was like, yo, like I want to interview some people. Like I felt a vibe, and I found these two teenagers. I think they were around my age, and I asked them, do you know what Bitcoin is? They never heard of Bitcoin, and I was like, wow, we're early, bro. Like we are so early. It's not weird just because like, it has to do with finance a little bit, and like I guess like if you're just like the average teen on TikTok, it doesn't really come up that often unless like you click on something and then the algorithm fits it into your page, whatever it may be. But I thought it was insane that they never heard of Bitcoin, but they seemed very interested in it by the time I was done talking to them off camera as well, because I had a whole conversation with them after. So I think that we still have time. Like everyone in this space is like, Bitcoin is an everyday thing for us. Like Bitcoin is such a regular thing, but there are people that still have not even heard about Bitcoin. So we're so early. Like all of this is so early. We're going to be laughing at what we're talking about now in another, I think 2 years, we'll be laughing. Not even 5, not even 10.
We've been saying that for like 4 or 5 years. But like I watched the new South Park special, and the whole thing was about NFTs.
I didn't see it.
The whole thing is about NFTs. Butters gets locked up in a mental institution because he can get anyone to invest in NFTs. And that's when he just goes and gets like everyone to invest in NFTs. And they come in and everyone's like, all their money's gone, all their house is sold, everything. It's like, but I got this cat that farts rainbows, so it's okay.
That's hilarious.
I gotta
watch.
Do
they still have roasted chestnuts this in winter in New York?
Wait, what?
Do they still sell roasted chestnuts? Like the street vendors, like the hot dog carts that they have.
Oh yeah, they have like a bunch of like these stands. They're called Nuts for Nuts, like nuts for nuts, and they smell so good. Like you walk by those and you're like, it's delicious.
You can't get them anywhere. That's like, except in like New York, nowhere sells roasted hot chestnuts anymore.
Yeah, they're all over Manhattan, like around the Times Square, Herald Square area, Rockefeller. All of like those busy streets, Fifth Avenue.
Cool. Yeah. That was my favorite. Going into the city to see the tree and get some roasted chestnuts.
It's cute, going to see the tree.
You sound so cute when you say it.
You have your hot chalky. And you're walking around with your hot chalky and marshmallows sipping. And then you have like, the lights on the other side. So cool. I love it. like New York is cute sometimes,
It goes through stages, man. It goes through terrible crime and nasty.
I'm boycotting that place because of their vacation requirement.
Dude, did you see? Oh my God. I know we're a little over, but I have to hit this now because you brought that up. The ball, New Year's Eve, they didn't have it in New York. They moved it to Miami.
No, the ball was
Rockin'
there.
Christmas Eve was in Miami.
Okay.
And they cut to New York just to drop the ball. But there was no one there. They didn't have a party.
Okay, well, the party part one makes sense because of the restrictions in New York City.
No, but last year they did it weird. They had people corral. It was creepy as hell.
I still think that they had the ball. They're not going to stop the ball in Times Square. That's always going to be there. But you can replicate it in other places.
But that's all it was. They cut from the Miami party, which the whole thing in Miami, for just like 2 minutes where the ball dropped, and that was it.
I saw a lot of New York parts though, like with Liza Koshy hosting. I saw.
Yeah, he's a big Miley Cyrus fan, so that's why he was watching Miley Cyrus.
Pete Davidson and Miley Cyrus special. Is that where you were watching?
That was in Tennessee. No, that was. They're the ones who are in Miami,
right? And
Pete Davidson and Miley Cyrus.
I thought that you were in the Miley Cyrus fan club, don't you?
No, I'm not. I didn't. Do you know she's Hannah Montana? Did you know that? I just found that out. No, I'm not a Miley Cyrus fan.
Apparently, you know all the facts about her and everything.
No, I don't.
Yeah, come on.
You were
all the facts. The fact that she was Hannah Montana. All the facts.
Didn't you play in her dad's backup band? Like, weren't you a part of
just
Achy
for
Breaky
a
Heart?
little bit, but that doesn't mean I did anything with Miley Cyrus.
Billy Cyrus, no way.
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
No,
Yeah.
I
actually helped
I
write
just make
Achy
up the
Breaky
most
Heart.
asinine things about Sean that I possibly can. It ends up being like a game and a fun pastime.
Yeah, I did follow them when they did their tour in Kazakhstan. But
Oh my gosh, man.
Okay, so I got about 10 minutes. This is the last thing I wanted to bring up. The other story about Nas, I'll just kind of skip over it. But I thought this is really cool because I've been hearing a lot of things about. We could touch on it real quick if we have time.
I'm just kidding.
GameStop. I mean, we heard everything with the Wall Street bet stuff that was going on with the GameStop stock, and now GameStop is trying to sort of reinvigorate itself. So there's been a lot of talk about the NFT aspect, and finally they dropped news that they're going to be having an NFT division. And then on that news, the stocks actually jumped 26%, which is probably the first time that the stocks have moved because of an actual good piece of news.
It's rather invigorating, I would say.
Yeah. But it's cool when you think about all this various NFT news, and you're seeing Samsung, and then you're seeing what's going on with GameStop, and then you're seeing the various celebrities that are getting in it for the art factor, then the musicians that are releasing music and videos and concerts,
and allowing the interaction between the artist and fan, where you can have a piece. Talking about Nas, you can have a piece of the royalties with Rich the Kid. I have a producer's credit on his next album, and I'm going to have royalties and everything from an NFT.
And this is limited royalties for 2 specific songs. So it's not like he's taking his whole catalog, but this could be like an experiment that if it does well, that in the future that he could release more music in these type of formats.
But I think you're not even. The fact that you're talking about the middleman, the record company, all that's not even in the conversation, dude. It's it's such a connection between artist and fan. I think that's one of the coolest things about it.
Well, I mean, we see it. I mean, me and you talked about that with Tom McDonald. I mean, he's kind of crossed a lot of different thresholds where you're getting away from that middleman, the management, the label, all of that kind of stuff. So, I mean, when you think about blockchain technology and you think about the creative destruction that it will bring, it gets rid of any industry that utilizes a middleman who's profiting and making money off of just being a gateway that's not even needed.
NFTs, man, powerful. Like, you could be your own store, be your own gallery, be your own record label. I think it's so empowering. I love it.
And then beyond just those use cases, I mean, the idea is that your house deed, any certificates and licenses could be issued in the form of NFTs.
High school diploma.
Right. And so you could see like the use case, the concert industry, you can replace tickets with NFTs, and that gives it takes away a lot of the scalping aspects where someone is selling illegal tickets that are fake. And then also whenever like some scalpers buy tickets, the companies don't actually make money. The scalpers make the money. So and since you know how Wax works, they can have it set up where if somebody resells a ticket, then a portion of the ticket sales go back to the creator of the NFT. So it really, there's so many different things that NFTs can impact. I kind of hope that we kind of get past this screenshot JPEG moment and move into like more utility. I do like the idea of utilizing art, and art is an important factor, but the idea that anybody can just take anything and make something, and when there's no real use case value or anything out of some of those things, like some people are literally just creating an NFT just so they can make money. When we get out of that stage, obviously, but when we get out of that stage, I look forward to the future of what NFTs will offer in so many different capacities.
On the GameStop thing, I think that the coolest part of this is that it's such a great story about the evil. It's like Star Wars almost. This evil entity that controlled finance, and they're doing their usual thing, and it all got brought to light, and then community disrupted that, which then shined a light on the political aspect of it, to where they had to blatantly protect the evil entities when it comes to like a Robin Hood and the government in general. It's like, hey, you're screwing over the people that run shit. No, you can't do that. But it showed people how that worked. And this company that's been caught in the middle, they've been saved, and now through community and now crypto, they've saved this company. And it's not only didn't get killed just at the whim and leisure of the evildoers, but
Right.
it's thriving and triumphing over it. It's because of community and crypto. I think it's awesome.
Could you imagine if something like this would have been out when GameStop was, or not GameStop, when Blockbuster was at its end?
Oh my
Because
gosh.
I could see a lot of parallels in the two companies kind of like fading into obscurity. And then GameStop was able to capitalize on their name and the technology at the right timing.
I think Blockbuster, like, I feel like a lot of these companies can make a comeback using, I know Radio Shack, like, who was hearing from Radio Shack? Now they're getting involved with cryptocurrency.
Someone created a Blockbuster DAO. I don't know if you heard about it. It's not Blockbuster,
Really?
but somebody's
no,
created a
but
Blockbuster DAO.
it should be. I think, listen, I think that, if they make the right move, Blockbuster can come back with like a banging NFT or like, marketplace of some sort, and, make it cool again. I remember going to Blockbusters, and like, I used to love it there. But I think, they can add the zest. They could bring this back if they do something really cool and strategic with NFTs.
That's a good point.
It could be
I think that's
revival.
the only way, because people don't talk about this, but and I've given away all my, I'm really into movies. I had thousands and thousands of movies, which used to take up a lot of space, but I've given away all my Blu-rays, all my DVDs, and I'm pretty much all like 95% digital. But reality is you don't own digital property. You don't own it.
Nope.
So, at any time, if there's like a licensing thing, I could have spent $100 on a few seasons of a show and it will just disappear. And if you call Voodoo, it's not like, hey, it's not our fault. It's MGM or whoever, it's a licensing thing. But if it's an NFT and it's all on that NFT, it's blockchain. You can't mess with it. So
unless it's on Solana or Binance Smart Chain, then they can just turn the blockchain off.
But I think if someone like Blockbuster or someone would come out with that would be awesome. And Blockbuster and Radio Shack. Radio Shack has fought forever, and Blockbuster tried to fight Netflix. They came out with you could rent movies through the mail.
Didn't Blockbuster have an opportunity to buy Netflix at one point and passed on it?
Yes, they did.
I think they did, but they came out, because you used to rent Netflix like in the beginning, as soon as they came out, and we would get DVDs through the mail, and then you'd send them back, and everyone's like, that's stupid, but it worked really well. And then streaming was like a secondary thing, but Blockbuster tried to come, which was the bigger name, but they tried to come out and combat them, and it was just too late. Netflix had already grown, and Blockbuster was kind of on the way out. But
everybody says in retrospect though that we love Blockbuster, but at the time when Blockbuster was out, everybody was like, screw Blockbuster. I'm not paying that rewind fee. I'm not paying that late fee. Things like that. So it wasn't exactly like people were like super gung ho Blockbuster until 10 years later when it becomes nostalgic and people and then if they reopen it, people go back in and are like, oh, I remember I hated this. Why did I?
But that's also a good lesson for the market, man. They did kind of monopolize on shit, and they could kind of be an asshole, and that's how free markets work, man. You take care of your clients, and you do the best job, you should be the most rewarded. Mm-hmm. But you can look at the way the markets are, and these crap airlines who are there's always videos of them screwing people over and beating people and taking them off a plane. They were all saved by the federal government like 2 years ago for billions of dollars. when Southwest, who's always has like the best reviews, they would have been able, how should have worked, that airline companies should have went under. Southwest should have been able to buy all the planes, buy everything for a song, and then they're the biggest airline in the world. That's how a free market should have worked. But it didn't work that way. You know, crony capitalism, the government pumped a bunch of money into these dead companies and then, you know, bailed them out. But
it got cray.
Mm-hmm.
Got cray. We should definitely have like a banter episode like this and not focus on any news articles, because I definitely enjoyed today's conversation.
Same. This was awesome. NFTs are going to change the world, guys. Be bullish. Let's get it.
Actually, you know, it's as cheesy as it sounds. The children, the youth, they will change our world. So for where we're at, you're going to change our world.
He calls me the old guy.
Yeah, we got the opposite. We got the opposite ends of the spectrum here. We got little youngin and really old dude.
Oh my God!
You're the middle guy. Dude, you're like
you're really coming. You're
probably months younger than I am.
I'm actually probably older than you.
No, you're not. You're not older than me. You're younger.
What year were you born?
Much. Huh?
What year?
61.
No, it wasn't 61.
No, it wasn't 61.
Right. What year?
It was in the 70s.
Mine was 75. I don't mind saying that.
75. I know you don't. Yeah. So you're a little
younger.
A little younger. Yeah.
Okay. At least I wasn't born in 2003 and 6 years old. When
that did honestly that freaked me out when she said it. Did. that did. I was like in the 2000s.
Well, how would she be Miss Teen Crypto if she was like 28 years old?
Yeah, no, but that's that's a whole nother conversation, dude. When people start talking about, you know, like 10 years ago, back in the 90s. What? No.
All right.
10 years ago, yeah, was that like 95? Everyone forgets about 2000, 2010 when it comes to, you know, to time.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, I got to get ready to bounce out of here. I want to give Miss Teen Crypto a chance to say her final thoughts. So I'm going to have links down below for her website and her YouTube channel, and I encourage people to go check out her social media sites. So you got anything you want to leave people with, Miss Teen Crypto?
Yeah, guys, we're all going to make it. This is a great time to, you know, be involved in crypto. Yes, you know, there's a little bit of blood in the streets, but that's what crypto is. You know, we've gone through this a lot and we've always recovered and back stronger than ever. And, you know, this time won't be any different. So remain bullish, stay positive, and of course, as always, stay zesty. Give me a follow, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all at Miss Teen Crypto. Zesty content all over the place. And yeah, just hang out with me. Oh, join my Telegram as well, t.me/Miss Teen Zesty Chat. I give away NFTs and Bitcoin every single day. And my community gives away a lot as well. So come join us. Hang out. I'm there like all day.
Sweet. Well, again, I appreciate your time. Look forward to doing this again. I encourage people to check out that conversation that me and you had on your channel a couple weeks ago, and
it was spicy.
I'll be in touch with you, but you have a good weekend.
Thank you. Yeah. You too. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Rice. Thank you, Sean. Right. You guys are amazing.
Take care and tell your dad I said hey.
Great hanging out with you.
Much love.
I love hanging out with you guys too.
We'll definitely have you back on soon.
Oh, awesome. Looking forward. Have a great weekend.
You too.
You too.
And
there were two.
All right, man. Well, I definitely want people to go over here and subscribe to your channel. If they're not already subscribed, I say it so much, but I definitely would like people to do that. And speaking of, since you say you haven't been on Miss Teen Crypto's channel, I haven't been on your channel in quite a minute, really, except for that.
You were on, dude, right there. Go up one. You're on right there. Go up one and you're there.
New Year's Eve thing. I haven't been on your channel in quite some time, so I would love to have an invite.
That sounds lovely.
I'm just saying.
We should have a drunk on crypto, and you can get, you know.
I'm trying not to do that very much anymore.
Smoky. I said you can get smoky.
Okay, I'll definitely get smoky.
And you know, I went crazy over the holidays because there's this app called Drizzle. Anyway, you can order alcohol and they deliver it.
There's a thing called GoPuff as well that does that. But do they deliver liquor?
Yeah, they deliver liquor.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Texas has a totally different set of laws.
Yeah, we don't.
Because I don't think liquor is set up for delivery yet in any. I could be wrong, but I know GoPuff is working on that, and they're.
Does that GoPuff like for pot?
That's what you would think, yeah, because it's called GoPuff, And yeah, so like late night, you get the munchies from smoking, and you can order from GoPuff. And one of the things that GoPuff are setting themselves up for is delivery in the cannabis element, which is kind of the reason why they did the name that they did and started the business the way they did, so that they can integrate into that element.
Well, there's weed, I mean, illegal weed dealers,
right? But I'm talking about
now
like legal, where you can go in an application and order your herbs. That'd be really cool.
There's this stripper girl I know. She like posted on her Snapchat that she, because she, I think her or someone tested positive, so she's quarantined. But she got a delivery. It was the Amazon box with some Gatorade and marijuana in it. Thought it was funny. But this app, man. So I was looking on it, and there's something I don't like because they replace shit. Like if they don't have it, which they should have it because it's there in the app. But there was this brandy that I used to drink when I was a kid over in Europe, and it was on sale for like $24. So I thought, oh yeah, I'm gonna get that. And then they didn't have it, so they replaced it with like a $70 bottle of brandy. Like that's just cool, man.
Oh, they give you like a more expensive bottle,
but they charged me the $70.
They charge you the full amount.
They did, yeah. Like that's not a little scammy for me, yeah.
So Andy Lee's gets in 1972.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, that's pretty close, man. It's pretty close.
Pretty close. I think 61 since you said 71 since you said 61. I'm gonna go with that.
My great niece was over, like last week for Christmas, and then my nephew said something about you're old, and then she's like, no, he's not. He's like 35. I was like, man, Aubrey, I love you so much.
You're such a good child.
It's like, you really are my favorite. Don't tell your other cousins that because it'll hurt their feelings. But you're my favorite. You know that.
That's hilarious. All right, brother. Well, I enjoyed it. I'm going to be going to Miami on the 16th through 19th, but it's not going to affect anything because I'll be back on a Wednesday. So
cool. You're looking at like getting a place there, man. You go there a lot.
I don't know. I'm still considering the ideas. I mean, I'm only going so far that I'm planning this trip and then in April for the Bitcoin conference. But this one, I mean, it's a cool event. I really wanted to interview a couple people there that I want to be trying to interview. Plus, they listed me as a media partner. I got Crypto Blood on there, and they gave me really good placement with that. So I'll show you where it's at. So under media partners. So you got Forbes. I was on the second line. Somehow I got moved down. I guess they put somebody else up. I don't know. It looks weird.
Oh, right here. There you go.
On the third line, which is pretty cool. I'm above Cointelegraph, above CNBC, and there's Crypto Jeb, Crypto Vigilante, and then they added CBTV, Crypto Blood.
I saw you posted your rewind on him. How's have you talked to him lately?
Which one?
Berwick?
No, I'm going to try to get back in touch with him, man. I mean, since he kind of went AWOL on social media, he just wanted to focus on his mental health, and I think getting away from that. But I'm pretty sure if I can get in touch with him. So when I get back from Miami, I was going to pursue that route.
Yeah, I was thinking about emailing him because he's he was on like Instagram still, every now and then, but not much, man.
Yeah, no, I just need to when I go to Miami this next time, Rafael Laverde from Crypto Vigilante is going to be there, and the Crypto Vigilante people. So I've already talked with Rafael about doing an interview. I'm already connected up with people in the circle, so I'm just going to ask Rafael, like, what do I need to do to get in touch with Jeff? Can you put a message out to him, tell him that I'm trying to get in touch with him for something? Because I'd like to get him back going. I was after, and another thing too, since I was doing those Rice Rewinds, it kind of makes me cringe in a way. I needed to re-release those just because a lot of those interviews get forgotten. But my sound, a lot of those interviews sucked. I wasn't using my equipment as properly as I could have. And so I would definitely like a chance to interview a lot of those people again and have a better quality.
Yeah, you're also a better interviewer now. You're not as stiff. Like I was watching some of the old ones, and you could tell there's a little nervousness there.
Yeah, no, I got more comfortable in my element. I mean, I've always done interviews, so the interview thing I was really comfortable with. But when I was first starting my channel, a lot of times I don't feel like I came through, like my personality. And it wasn't really until I started branching out with my channel and being able to express things that I'm really interested in and get to show the things that I'm passionate about, that a lot of that came out. And then I think that's kind of like where I would like to revisit some of those older interviews, because I think it would be that much better the next go around.
Yeah.
And plus I need to stack my I need to get some more higher profile people on there, which is what I used to focus on. And I've been doing a lot more research and all this stuff. So I'm going to try to make sure I'm bringing on some more higher profile guests. Like I'm finally going to be doing that follow up with Reggie Middleton next week.
I'm going to too. I actually reached out to a fellow running for governor. He's a comedian and a social media big dude. I don't know if you know who he is. Chad Prather.
No.
Real big social media comedian. He has a big podcast, but he's running for governor, and he's also talking about secession.
So nice.
Yeah, it was one of the things he was running on, and he talks about it all the time.
A lot of those issues or episodes of Rise and Stand were stuff that YouTube liked to take off. I've dealt with. Oh, I'm glad that this got brought up too, because I meant to say this at the beginning of the show, but I was being really quiet about it until it actually happened, so that I wasn't jinxing myself or causing myself any issues. But as of today, January 7th, 2022, Rice TVX 0 strikes. I've received probably, I think, 4 or 5 strikes this year. Just not 3 consecutively.
You know what happened? They hit Lisa right before her big meetup.
Yeah, because the live stream that I spoke on, it was on Quentin Westwood's channel.
So she couldn't live stream. And I told her, I was like, I bet if you contest this after the live stream, because she was like, you think I should? Or well, I was like, no. I said, now that it's after the live stream, I said, I bet you they'll drop it within hours. She said it took them like 15 minutes, dude. She sent the email. They took it right off.
They might have done it right away if she'd done it right away. Because a lot of times,
I honestly think that because they did it for something old. I think that they were doing it to stop the live stream, so she couldn't do the live stream of her meetup, because everything was like this meetup, and then right before she got hit, and they're like 2 weeks she can't stream.
Yeah, I mean you never know what it is they're gonna take you down for, and they could take you down for old videos, they could take you down for unlisted videos, they could take you down for private videos.
They literally don't tell you.
No, they won't tell you. They won't.
Standard. What standard?
They'll tell you that you violated. They'll tell you what it was that you were in violation of, but they won't tell you how you violated it, because they don't want you to correct your performance so that you can avoid it. They want you to continue making the mistakes so they can just get rid of you. So, I mean, if they really didn't like, that should also, and this guy Corey's saying that the videos are still on Stan's channel. That should tell you why my channel is targeted.
Yeah.
So if you see, and this happened so many times when me, Stan, and Pimpy would do live streams together, and the same video would go on all 3 channels, but they would either hit my channel up or hit Pimpy's channel up with an issue on the same video, but they wouldn't hit us up simultaneously. So if there was a problem with the video, then everybody with the video should have had the same situation that I would have been in, or someone else would have been in. So when you see videos on my channel that are removed from YouTube, and then you see them on another channel, it wasn't the video, it is me.
The channel.
It is me. So
hey, 416. Glad to see you here, man.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it.
All right, well, I'm gonna let you go. We gotta go.
Yeah, I really gotta bounce. Thank you again, dude. We'll do next Friday. I'll be in touch with you before then. I appreciate it.
I love you.
Love you too, man. I want everybody to subscribe to both of our channels and check out Miss Teen Crypto's channel as well.
And maybe, we could take a nice vacation, go to Kazakhstan.
Or maybe I'll just come down to Texas.
Yeah, the Kazakhstan of the United States.
Yeah, the bazooka stand of the U.S.
Check out this stand.
Hey, if you got to check this out tomorrow, I want to advertise again. Miss Maren Altman was on my channel earlier this week, and she does kind of like crypto astrology. She also intermixes it with TA, not the kind of TA that you're thinking about. But if you were to go on her Instagram, there is some TA, and I was like, "Are you a model? Did you model before or something?" So I encourage people to check out that conversation. She's a beautiful lady. Model? She's a very beautiful lady, but she's equally intelligent, which is what I really enjoy, is having a good, intelligent conversation with people. So
that's usually why you like talking to hot chicks.
Okay, when you check out her content, you'll realize there's a lot of substance to what she does. And she just happens to be good on the eyes. So it's kind of a win-win as far as I'm concerned, and I appreciate it. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for tuning in. Stay tuned for next week. We're going to be doing Crypto Rewind next Friday, 7:00 p.m. Eastern time. We will have a special guest as usual. Thank you for tuning in. And as always, I will leave you with this. Be the change. Practice change. Yeah, boy.